There we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Have You Seen This? I'm Frank. Sarah, your audio, your unmute
Oh,
mic.
there we
Oh,
go.
there you go. There we go.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I timed it perfectly, and then my computer decided not to.
It happens. It happens. I remember that one time where I started it up. I'm like, I got time, and then it was a huge update. I was like, oh my gosh, and it was like an hour or something late.
Always.
Oh my gosh. So this week is Wild Robot Attack. I remember it was down to the wire. I was like, I got to give Sarah a
I'm
movie.
like, you have. I'm like, if you hadn't texted me, I was gonna be like, Frank, what are we doing here?
No, because I was thinking like, should I? Because like you're making me watch Wild Robot, a movie I didn't want to see, and I'm like, should I make her watch like The Substance, like something completely wild? I'm like, no, I can't do that. And plus, I was thinking of the thumbnail. I'm like, nah, it'd be fun to have Iron Giant and the Wild Robot together. But I was like really thinking about having like The Substance. Like, oh my god, Sarah watching The Substance. Hello, Kate Fisher. Hello.
Hello.
But I decided to have Iron Giant because I'm like, I can't do that to Sarah. I can't
Oh,
have her watch The Substance.
thank you. Tis the season.
So, with that being said, I think we'll start with why you picked the Wild Robot.
I'm so excited to hear your thoughts on it. I've been anxiously waiting. I chose a wild robot. I honestly had no idea what it was until one night Ari and I were like, we're bored, let's go see a movie, what's out? And this movie came up. I was like, wow, it has a really good score on Rotten Tomatoes. I had no idea what I was walking into. I walked into like the most beautiful piece of art I've ever seen. Like the animation was stunning, the sound was stunning, the story was just like the most heartwarming story of I've ever seen. The quick synopsis of it is that there's a robot Roz who has a crash landing on like this, remote island with a bunch of wildlife and animals, and her whole purpose in programming in life is to help humans, right, to complete tasks for humans, and she's just trying to complete her task on this remote island and help the creatures there. But she finds a lot of turmoil and challenges with trying to help a species she knows nothing about. She eventually learns about them and gets acquainted with a little gosling, a little ducky duck. Well, I guess it'd be a little goose and duck. No, it was a duck. A little duck.
It was definitely a Gosling because they do mention that Gosling.
Okay, it was a
Yeah,
gosling. Whatever. It's a bird.
it's a
And
bird.
the bird, she accidentally kills the bird's mom, and the bird imprints on Roz. And her mission in life becomes to raise this little gosling to teach it how to swim and how to fly and how to eat. And it's like this beautiful, touching story about like friendship, motherhood, parenthood, like love, creating community. Like there's just so many beautiful themes in it. It's about grief. It's about how we process grief. It's beautiful. I cried for like 45 minutes. It was very embarrassing. There was snot. There was like stuffled like breaths in, like but it was just so good, and I can't wait to watch it again.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just recently watched. I think I just watched it yesterday, and to let people know, I don't know if you watched the previous episode, but this was a. I saw the trailer. It was actually the teaser trailer, to be more specific. Teaser trailer, and they sold this movie like no dialogue. It was like all silent, nothing but music, and I'm like, oh my god. I think me and my mom cried. We cried during the teaser trailer, like, oh my god, this movie's beautiful. It's great. And then I think it was either on YouTube or we saw another movie and they played the different trailer, like trailer two. And it had like all these wacky animal voices coming on and talking about, like oh blah blah blah. I'm like, oh no, because I thought they were going to be brave. I thought they're like, oh my god, we're gonna make a silent movie. We're just gonna have like beautiful animation and we're gonna tell a story through visuals. I thought like DreamWorks was gonna do it. I was like, oh my god, but then I was like, oh, and I completely got turned off by the movie. And then like literally the minute I got turned off from the movie, I got a message from Sarah saying, "Oh my God, you haven't
Hey,
seen the
you
Wild
have to watch
Robot.
this movie.
We have to watch it." And I'm like, I don't wanna." And then she was like, "Well, we're gonna watch it." I was like, "All right."
I'm like, I'm giving you no choice in the matter.
No choice in the matter. So I rented it on the Vudu, the Fandango at home, and what do you call it? It was a beautiful movie, beautifully animated. Like Sarah said, it's about this robot that accidentally crashes on this island, and it's basically like a maid, like almost like a Roomba, like a little thing that just it's supposed to be for your house, and it's on this island. And I liked that it learned the language, or like it learned the animal sounds. I thought that was
See, that's what I'm
interesting.
saying.
I
It
was like,
wasn't
that's
just like
interesting.
talking animals. It had a purpose.
But still, I believe they could have. They honestly, I feel like this could have been dialogueless. I was watching this movie. I'm like, I bet they did. I bet they were like so close, and they're like, now we got to have Pedro Pascal, being the fox. Um, honestly, like it's a great movie, but I think it could have been so much stronger with no dialogue. And also the ending, I thought was like, but like everything was like really great. I liked the voice acting of the robot. That was fantastic. Of course, like when I watch like animal movies, especially like when they have like goofy actor voices, I instantly think of Open Season. So I was thinking of like Elliot and Boog and Mr. Weenie when I saw all these animals in the woods, because you can't really switch them up when you see them, because like animals are animals. So when you see them in another movie, you're kind of thinking that. But I was reminded of Open Season, which I
I
love.
haven't seen. Wow, that's a blessing past. I forgot about that movie.
You haven't seen Open
No,
Season?
I've seen it. It's just been like so long since I've seen it.
I'm a fan. I think I've seen all 3 or 4 movies or whatever they
There's
are.
more than one.
Well, yeah, they all went to direct to DVD because they're all like made money overseas, and I think overseas they were released in theaters, and yeah, they're like money makers. I think there's like maybe 5 or more. There might even be a TV series, but yeah, there's a lot of Open Seasons. Joe McHale ended up taking the role of Elliot, and I think, oh my god, was it? Nah, I better not guess. But they had like different voice actors instead of the original ones. But yeah, they end up like going to the circus, and then even Crispin Glover ends up voicing like a poodle dog in one of the episodes. I love it. But anyway, I was reminded of that while watching what was it? Oh, Open Season, Wild Robot, and what else happened is, I do like how they treated it. It almost reminded me of Castaway, because when the robot like kind of gets bored, it just like roams around, and then it finds its old packaging and the other robots and learns about itself,
Yep.
and then finds like the other returning device in its head. I do like the little Gosling. The Gosling was cute. Oh yeah, they talk about that so openly. I was like, oh geez, both of these movies do actually about death,
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, oh yeah, that robot killed your mom. It's like, what? You didn't tell me? You didn't tell me it killed my mom? And like the way it happens too, it's just like the robot totally accidentally does it, and it's almost like, oh my god, because like you lift up the wing, and then you find out like there's like one egg left. But it's a beautiful story because the robot raises this little Gosling, and meanwhile it's like breaking its protocol, so it's kind of going off hinge because it doesn't know what it's doing, and it's all about motherhood. This whole movie is about like unexpected like pregnancy and motherhood too, because she doesn't know what she's doing, and there's no rule book, and it's like, oh, you're making up as you go, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. You're teaching kids without teaching kids, it's like it's all there, black and white, clear as crystal, right? So they're doing that with about like being a mother, and there's no plan, there's no set, you can't control everything, you can't protect them all the time, and then you got to do, sometimes you have to improvise, like they go to the Falcon, Ving Rhames. I kept waiting for Ving Rhames to go like, Ethan, Ethan, you have to learn how to fly. Because I just know him as what do you call it, the guy from Mission Impossible, and then Arby's, we have the meats.
Oh my god, no.
So he's in there as the Falcon. He's training his little Gosling. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. And then they have like the robot with like a platonic marriage with his fox.
Oh my
Who's
god.
the LA fox thing?
All Fink wants is love. He just wants to be told that he's loved.
It's so sad. And then like, oh my god, that harsh winter, like bringing up like global warming, a little bit, because it's the coldest winter that they even had, and like even like they can't save all the animals, which is wild. I was like, oh geez, they did it, because they're like they dug up, they're like, they just buried them back. I was like, oh man, animals are dying in this, but that's good, to teach kids like sometimes you can't save everyone. And it was beautiful because they all get inside their little hut, and
And then the bear cuddling with the
the little like
whatever.
beaver, yeah, the beaver. Oh my gosh. So my only issue with the movie is that I guess, you know, everything has to be a franchise or everything has to have a sequel. I have no idea if it's like the book at all. It's based on the book. But at the end, it gets all like action packed. Like we have the spaceship, like we found you and we're going to keep coming back for you. And they burn down the woods. And it's like, yeah, you didn't need that. You didn't need that. You just needed the robot to die or at least lose all its energy and have moss grow all over it. And then have the Gosling come home and like, oh my God, I never said I love you. And then he goes to see her and says, I love you. And then it activates her. Like, that's all I need. That's a good, solid ending. I don't need...
Solid.
I don't need a big, giant robot all-out fight. You know, I don't need to worry about these animals on this little, like, island that half burns down because of these robots. Oh, my gosh.
But that's also, like, another commentary on, like, the human race and how we just ruin everything.
True, but it just comes off as we got to leave ourselves open for a sequel.
So the book is there's 3 books, and apparently I think the movie was based on the first 2 books.
Okay.
So it's like, what are the books? It's like the first one is Wild Robot, and then the robot. Hold on, Wild Robot books. I had no idea it was a book. I had to text my stepmom, who was like, "Oh, my grandkids love those books," and I'm like, "What?" So it's a wild robot, and then the wild robot protects, and then the wild robot escapes. So I don't know if the movie was like all 3 of the books, or I read somewhere it was the first 2, but it's like I think it's a series of like the robot getting to the island, then protecting the island, escaping. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But yeah, they leave it open definitely to like.
Is there going to be a sequel?
Oh yeah, it made enough money. Speaking of making money, the reason why it made money is because. So there's this movie called Terrifier 3. It's a gory, unrated blood movie that they somehow released nationwide. And some people bought tickets for Wild Robot and snuck in to see Terrifier.
Seriously?
So, yeah, seriously, because there was a big giant bump. So with that weekend, the opening weekend for Terrifier 3, there was a big giant bump for Wild Robot. And that was why, because people were sneaking in, like kids were like, they can't get their ticket to see Terrifier 3, so they bought tickets for Wild Robot and snuck in to see Terrifier 3, which is amazing. It's not a Sarah movie, but
you're like, this is way better. Fuck the robots.
We have some comments from Cade Fisher.
Yes.
Hi, let's hope the Wild Robot will defeat Moana 2. I have not seen Moana 2, but I have heard things. What
have you heard? Because I want to go see it.
I've heard that it's clearly a TV show that was made into a movie that you could feel all the different episodes.
Mm-hmm. Was it supposed to be a TV show?
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
It was supposed to be a Disney Plus TV show, and I guess it became super popular through streaming. And they're like, oh, I guess we're going to change our mind. We're going to make it a movie. So they just quickly shifted towards a movie. So that's why there's like no Lin Miranda songs in it. And that's why I guess it's very start, stop, because they just stitched all the episodes together.
That makes me not want to go see it.
You have to go see it, Sarah. So you could tell me to see it and I'll be like, no, Sarah.
I'm not going to tell you to see it if it's shitty.
No, but you're going to like it. You won't even notice it. You'll be like,
now I'm going to notice it.
No, you're not. You're going to tell me to see Moana too. Okay, another comment. Love how 2 movies about robots learning to discover their own humanity would be something that broke me both childhood and adulthood. Oh my God. Yes. So like I lost it during Iron Giant this time. And
did you?
I saw it a different way. I saw it in a different light this time and I was like, oh my gosh. Glad you gave it a chance, Frank, for sure. Had they gone silent route, it would have been cool, but still love it. Oh yeah, yeah. I think it would have been so amazing if they went the silent route.
But do you think if it went the silent route that kids would like it as much?
I don't know, but I do believe it would have been a better movie. Just
honestly. I do believe it would have been. You see, I don't think I would have I don't like silent movies. I don't think I would have liked it.
Sarah.
I really like the dialogue. I'm like a words person. I want to talk. I want to communicate. I want to hear things.
You just want to hear what's his name, Matthew Barry saying, "The most devious bastard in New York City" as the Beaver.
You sound like Lazaro from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, that's who he is. He was the Beaver.
I know. When I found that out, I was like, oh, it made me like it even more because What We Do in the Shadows is one of my favorite shows. And I'm literally avoiding watching the last season because I'm so devastated it's ending.
Oh my gosh. But
New
yeah,
York City.
New York City. No, I don't want your sex potions. Open season. Love the hunter and Sasquatch hunting couple. They were fun. Oh yeah. The teddy bears have their picnic. And then Moana 2 isn't as bad as Milo's Return. It's fine. They should have stayed in Disney Plus. Ooh, coming from Cade. Should have stayed on Disney Plus. Oof. Oof. Well, Disney's in a mess. I don't know what's going on with Disney.
They just seem to be just remaking all the old. Like I saw that they were remaking Aristocats, but like it's not even live. They're just remaking the animation.
Oh God. Oof. Yeah, they're completely in a mess. Like they're tearing down Muppet Vision, even though they have like all the land to build and expand on. They even have like Star Wars launch bay that they could tear down, but they're not tearing that down. Just like, and then like Epcot's in disrepair. They used to have like these little nice light up things, and they replaced them, and those broke instantly, and they haven't repaired them. It's sickening, Sarah, seeing what they're doing with those parks. Like they're going to tear down the whole Frontier Land to build Cars Land, and I was just like,
Really?
oh my God, yeah, they're going to get rid of like the Rivers of Liberty and just give it a Cars Land.
I
And
mean,
it's
it's
just
for the
sickening.
whippersnappers. They don't appreciate the vintage.
It's just yeah, they're just desperate, Sarah. I think
They're
they're
just
so
desperate.
they're you could tell they're desperate when they're doing a Moana 2 and a live action Moana.
And they're remaking Aristocats. Just
Yeah.
information.
Jeez, it's just they're so confused. They don't know what they're doing.
What
And
about have you seen the previews for the Lion King prequel?
oh yeah, Mufasa.
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I haven't seen the remake, so that tells you something.
I can't. It was terrible. It was so bad. It was so bad.
I still can't,
How
how
do
does it
you
make so
not?
much money? I don't know.
I don't understand how you don't have what's his name, Matthew Broderick, and like no, not Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, it was
What's
Matthew
his
Broderick,
name?
Simba.
Timon.
Oh, Nathan Lane.
How do you not have Nathan Lane be Timon? Like it's the most iconic voice in the whole movie. He's still alive. He's in his prime. He's doing well. There's no reason that they should not be picking Nathan Lane for Timon. It's
They
like
sh-
so
Nathan
iconic.
Lane needs to get some work. I just rewatched The Birdcage. That's like the most perfect
He's
movie
so
ever
good.
made. It's so funny.
I don't understand. Like, I'll give you Seth Rogen for Pumbaa. That works. It's fine. You can cast whoever for Simba, but like Timon, that's iconic. You cannot change that.
Yeah, they gave it to Billy Eichner, right?
Ugh,
It's
it's
Deborah
so
Messing, you
wrong.
gays.
It's just
Deborah
wrong.
Messing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Disney's in a mess, and I feel like they're being overtaken by Universal, the guys who did The Wild Robot, because
Interesting.
Universal,
DreamWorks.
yep, DreamWorks and Universal, because Universal is about to finish this big giant theme park, like called
Another
Epic
one?
Universe. Yeah, they have this whole theme park called Epic Universe. It's like 5 different lands. It's like How to Train Your Dragon, Harry Potter, Mario, Universal Monsters, and I think there's something else. Maybe it's like generic, but like
Oh, I
here's a
want to
Harry
go to
Potter.
this place.
But it's like all amazing, and it's so funny because in 2017 Universal announced this, and in 2017 Disney announced Tron, the ride,
Mhm.
and Disney barely has the ride Tron out. Meanwhile, they've had a whole theme park made in the last 5-10 years or whatever. But it's crazy. It's like they're going to be overtaken, and Disney's going to fall way behind. It's just crazy.
What a world! Did you ever think we'd live to see that world?
I no, but it's kind of crazy though, but it kind of makes sense because like Disney was on top of its game so much, and then over the years it just it lost its touch, and especially I think after they bought Star Wars and just drove that into the ground. Oh my God.
Also, just like the live action Lion King. It was just
Oh yeah, and like those live action. I don't know how that made so much money. I don't know how that.
yeah, they could have at least made the animations a little more like look like the characters. They were too
Yeah.
real. It was too real.
It's weird. And then this whole prequel thing. I don't know how it's going to do it, but apparently Sonic 3 is going to take over it. Like they've already done the
Okay.
tracking, and like Sonic 3 is going to do it.
I know we're on like a huge divergence, but like
yeah,
the
we're fine.
Sonic 3 preview played before the Wild Robot, and Ari and I looked at each other and we're like, thank God we don't have children. Like we couldn't sit through this. This looks so stupid.
Dude, Sonic, like I didn't see Sonic 1. I saw Sonic 2, and Sonic 2 was hilarious. It was amazing. It reminded me of those 2000 movies, like 2001 through like
Oh my
2005,
gosh.
like that era. And I can't wait for Sonic 3.
It looks so dumb. I can't. The only part that made me laugh was the mustache, and then the mustache dad, the guy with the mustache. But the rest of it, I'm like,
There's two Jim Carreys for the price of one, Sarah. Two Jim Carreys.
No, they're both Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's playing his father and the son.
Oh my god, I can't.
You have to. I'm gonna make you.
No.
And we're just gonna start with Sonic 3. We're gonna skip the first two.
No.
Well, even Sonic 3 is an interesting story.
If I told Ari we have to go to the movie theater and see Sonic 3, he will literally be like, I'm divorcing you.
You have to get some practice, though. We have to get some practice. Hang on. We got some new comments here from Cade. Moana 2 has some good ideas, but I wish they got fleshed out. Apparently the series was done and heavily tweaked into a movie. While it's fine, I wish it didn't heavily get meddled with. Ooh. And then Sonic 3 is going to slaughter Mufasa the same day. Oh, absolutely. Everyone's going to see Sonic 3, and they're all going to cheer, and they're going to cry. Oh, my gosh. I honestly think Sonic 3 is going to end on, like, the saddest cliffhanger ever. I think, like, it's going to be incredible.
They're going to make Sonic 4?
Oh, yeah. Like, Sonic is, like, underrated, like Dark Horse, like, amazing movie series. Like, they already have a TV series. We're already 3 movies deep. They got Keanu Reeves in the movie.
They got Keanu Reeves in the movie?
Yeah, he's playing the Dark Sonic, that guy, the Shadow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, holy smokes, you got, like, Jim Carrey to come out. Jim Carrey's only coming out of retirement for these movies. That's crazy to me. Like, he keeps saying he's retiring, but he only comes back for Sonic, which I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, they're underrated. I would say they're underrated. They look stupid, but I like them. Let's see. I agree. It feels like they're not sure what to do. Hopefully they'll figure something out. They just need to get rid of all the heads of Disney. Like, they need to clean house, get rid of them, fresh ideas, stop it. They're ruining everything.
They're ruining everything.
Okay, so let's get back on track. So what was your favorite scene in The Wild Robot?
I was like thinking about this all day, and I watched a movie recap, and I looked up all the best moments. They're all so good. I really like. How do you pick one? How do you pick one moment? There's so many good moments. I'm just gonna go through some of them. So I love when I'm just probably not gonna be in order, but I love when she's like teaching him how to swim, and like her and Fink are going back and forth, and Fink's like, you need to let him go out into the world and make mistakes, or you need to let him leave home. And she's like, well, I like it better when he's closer to home. And then her little like when home is close to me or whatever, and her little like hand goes into the water and is like watching what he's doing, and I'm like, that's gonna be me as a mom. I like when home's close to me. I want you can go out as long as 10 feet in my orbit, so I know you're okay.
You're okay.
So that part was really sweet. I love the way that they touch on the themes of grief and loss and death. Like, I think they do a really nice job of like showing like first and foremost, like the food cycle, right? Like there's where like everybody's eating each other, and it's just like, what's going on? And then, like you mentioned, when they're like looking in the storm and not everybody makes it, like there's just something that's refreshing about that, because death is a part of life. And like a lot of kids in grief, when they lose somebody, they get really confused, because like we say things like they've passed on or they're in a better place.
Mm-hmm.
When we're with kids, it's a lot better to say, this person died, right? That means that they're no longer here, because they take things very literally. So I like how they're explaining that in a very, you said like, wow, this is like really in your face.
Yeah, like very literally. Like everything is like very literal in this movie. Like
that's like the best way to teach kids about death.
Yeah. And it works well because it's just a robot that doesn't fully understand emotions, even though slowly as her programming changes. But she's very like, doing like strict with what she's supposed to do, because she's just programmed to be that way.
I also love this. Oh my god, the scene when
you're gonna be okay.
When Bright Bill is like, he's leaving home and they're having a fight, and then she runs with him and he takes off and she gets a feather. I couldn't. It was just like, it was completely lost in that moment. I'm just like, they have unfinished business, but she loves him so much. They haven't said I love you, and he's mad at her, but he still needs her. And it just, it was so good. It was so good. And just running, and just in that scene, like visually is also just so beautiful with like the sunset and like the colors. That was such a nice one. And then I also love, at this point I'm like, oh my God, movie's over. Like they're not going to get closure. So I did like that, he comes back and like they have that moment to say I love you, because that creates like some healing, right? Like playing in the themes of death, like you will have unfinished business with people, but and you can still work that, even when you think like it's over, you're not going to see somebody again, like there's always ways to work that out and say I love you, or say
Mm-hmm.
things you didn't get to say. So I thought that was really beautiful. And then like all the in between with like saving, and then he was, yeah, so then that whole middle part where like he's migrated in this winter, like it's like it gives such a realistic look at motherhood, because like you never know how fucking amazing your mom is and like how much shit she does behind the scenes until you grow up.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do you mean you saved the entire island and like built this sanctuary and got all these people to work together, right? And then she just like did all of this, and then right, Bill never knows that, right? Never knows what a badass his mom is. So that was pretty cool. And then I also really love just like the little details. Like I love the little family portraits of like Bright Bill.
Oh my god, I was so sad at that one point because I thought they're going to put him on fire or something. But like, no, those are Bright Bill's baby pictures. I was like, oh my god. Those are Bright Bill's baby pictures. Oh my god.
Oh, it was so touching. And then and then she's at the end. I mean, spoiler, but at the end, he finally says he loves her, and that's the point, right? He finally says that he thinks she's dead, and he says, "I love you," and it's like this beautiful.
And somehow she still heard him and like came back to life. She's like a Christ figure. The Christ figure. She died and came back.
You can always have closure. You can always say the things you didn't get to say.
Because they'll be able to hear it in some way.
Yes, like I was just like, and then it's like it's proof that she came back and she heard it, and then somehow also at the end, like even though these stupid humans who built this beautiful creature and they just wrecked her and ruined her, like she still remembered him, right? Like it's like there's this something on a deeper level, like a spiritual level, like you never really forget who you are, even if all your programming says differently, right? And then I also like that whole general theme of like, we are humans. We just believe we're programmed to be one thing, right? We're taught as kids, like, this is who you're going to be. This is what you are. We're through society, through movies, whatever it is. But like when you're put in situations, you are always capable of programming yourself to rise to the occasion. And I think this movie really shows that in a beautifully artistic way. Like, yeah, maybe she wasn't programmed to be a mom. That's not what they wanted. But like, she made it happen, right? And I think that's a lot of stories of parenthood for a lot of people, or stories of really professional life, like friendships, right? This wasn't what I signed up for, but it's who I'm going to become. So I can't pick one. It's just all so good, the whole thing.
Oh, kind of bouncing off that. I think I don't really have a specific favorite scene, but I'll say like I do love the whole motherhood thing. I really do love that. They found a way to do it. Like I don't even think it's so subtly, but it's like text. It's there. Like she gets there, she gets an unexpected, egg. She's got to take care of it, and she does everything to try to her best, because there's like no plan book when you have a child. It is your kid. You have to take care of it. You can't, it is your responsibility, and you can't just, find shortcuts. You really have to gauge how your child's strengths are, because it's the run of the litter. They say that in this movie, that it's the run of the litter. It would have died without her, but she makes sure that he's prepared for the life ahead of him, to do all the things he needs to do. He needs to eat, swim, fly, and he needs those to survive. And as long as he knows those things, he'll be okay. And even if they don't get along, she'll at least be comfortable knowing that he's gonna be okay. And of course, they get in that fight that they always do before the third act. It's like, oh no, it's the lowest point. But it's great because they all think she's a robot, but she's been reprogramming herself. I think there's that scene where she basically kind of like breaks down, or like mentally, or not mentally, but you know what I mean. Like she has a point where she just has to let loose. Like she's talking to that robot in the cave.
Yep.
And she's like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I've been reprogramming my program every day. I've been doing this and that and the other. And the robot's like, whoa, what are you talking about? You're supposed to be a robot. And she's like, no, I've been adjusting to do this, to become this. And they're like, well, you're in trouble. But like, still, I love that, because it's how people have to change and have to adjust their life in order to raise a child and to take care of family. That was great. I loved all that stuff,
And,
and it's like
and
not a specific scene; it's like the whole first two acts. Yeah.
And it's like the whole theme of adaptability. Like it's not just Roz who's readjusting her programming. It's like you said, like Bright Bill's the runt of his litter, and he, like, the world tells him you are going to die, or like you're going to be weak or small. And he learns to fly despite the odds. He like becomes the leader of the formation, right? Like because Roz like empowers him, he believes he can do it. And then you have Fink, right? Like Fink is a predator. Like Fink's supposed to eat little Bright Bills and hunt and be on his own, and he like comes to say, I'm not going to eat this, I'm going to help raise it, and I'm going to know love, and even though I've never had love given to me, like I'm going to give it and learn how to be that. So it's like a consistent theme, like with all the animals, really. Like you see that adaptability and you know, what better message would set kids up for a successful life? Like nothing's going to go according to plan. Like everything's going to hit, the shit's going to hit the fan, but you're capable of adapting, right? You can do this. You can reprogram yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that was the strongest part. Again, I don't want to be too negative about the end, but like it lost me at the end. Like, you're doing your sequel bait. Okay, yeah. But I would like, here's the thing though, if it was like live action and they did that, I would kind of see like where they go, because I like seeing. Because, like, the next one, it could be, like, a whole time jump, you know? Like, an ultra-futuristic world where this Roz is, like, what saves, like, humanity. And they have to find the one robot because everything's, like, falling apart. Because, like, they kind of hint that the real world, it sort of reminds me of WALL-E, where it's, like, all futuristic, everything's done for them. But, yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what they're going to do for the sequel. I wonder.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be something around, like, trying to break Roz out of the Universal Robotics prison.
I think it might be like a revolt where they find out who she is. I don't know. It's definitely going to be more sci-fi. I don't even know if the island will be in the second one.
I know. Like, I kind of like that. I like sci-fi. Like I could see your point. I'm like, it would be a really strong movie if it just ended there. But then I'm like, ooh, we're bringing in some like sci-fi elements. Like
that's the thing.
There's something what's genre bending happening.
Yeah, like if they're brave enough, I think they are. Like I think what I've seen from DreamWorks is that they are brave enough to do some chances.
Yeah,
I think they are, because I remember seeing How to Train Your Dragon, and when he loses his leg, I was like, oh man, they did it.
They did it. Oh, it's happening.
It's happening.
I think I've seen How to Train Your Dragon like a long time ago, but that's like I want to rewatch that whole series because I feel like I'd love it.
Yeah. And everyone, so sidebar, speaking of that, everyone's like, why are they making a new one? It's like, it's not for us. It is for the new generation, and it is to advertise the theme park that are brought to open.
It's to advertise. This is only for marketing. This is not.
Yeah, like literally, it's like, it's not for you. It's for the kids. And then it's for them to be like, oh, let's go to the theme park. It's like, that's it. Yeah. It has nothing to do with us who grew up with it, who have seen all three movies. Everyone's like, it's like, come on, think, guys. Use your thinking caps.
Use your thinking.
Let's think about this. Who is it for?
Follow the money.
Follow the monies. Okay, what do you got? Okay, so that's the old one. Is this one new? Yes. Okay, so Jacob DreamWorks. Oh my gosh. Hello, Jacob. To quote a Moses from Prince of Egypt, something else is coming, something else much worse than anything before. That means the Snow White remake.
Oh my god, the Snow White remake.
Oh my god, I want to see it, but I don't.
I want to. It's like I feel that way about all the most of the only remake that I'm really fucking excited for is Lilo and Stitch, because I to this day still watch that movie like several times a year. I love Lilo and Stitch.
They better not fumble the ball, because what I want from Lilo and Stitch advertising, I want them to recreate those trailers that they did for the original one. Because I don't know if you know this, but where he's jumping into the other movies, where it's like he runs into like Aladdin and then Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, and all those have been remade already. So if you get like Emma Watson in the commercial where she's like, dancing with the Beast, and then little Stitch comes in there and ruins it.
Oh my God,
or get like Halle Berry from the Little Mermaid movie. Oh my gosh, it'd be great for those trailers.
I'm really the girl they found to play Lilo is like Dead Ringer. Like she looks like Lilo incarnated. She's so cute.
That's great. I haven't even seen her yet. I've been staying away. Like I don't want. I kind of want to be surprised with that. Honestly.
Okay, really quick. We just need to do an update on Zeus's weight loss journey. You see how
Oh my gosh.
he's looking very dapper.
Yes, he is.
He's like, "What are you doing, Mom? Look at him. He's like, he's real doing it.
He's losing it. I could
He's
tell.
doing it." I don't know. I haven't weighed him this month yet, but I think we might be down to 15.
I think so. He looks like it. He's looking dapper. He's looking thinner. I like
It
it.
only costs like $300 a month in food, but it's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine.
Everything's fine.
This is
Everything's
fine.
fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine now.
We're
There
fine.
you go.
Stupid prescription bullshit food.
Okay, and then do we do the rating at the end, or do we do it before the next
No, I think we're
one?
supposed to do the rating now. Three.
We do the rating
Done. Three roses.
I'll give it 2. I'll give it 2 roses.
Okay.
Solid 2.
That's pretty good considering you were so against it and you didn't want to see it.
Oh yeah, I'll never watch it again. I don't think so. I have no reason to revisit this, but like it's good. It's good. I would recommend it. The animation's really well done. I'll probably see the sequel. But yeah, like it's good. It's good, but I'll never see it again. But it's getting a 2 for me, so that's pretty good. It's good. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine.
It's fine. It's all fine.
We're fine. We're all fine. We're all fine, Sarah. We're all
I'm
fine.
like emotionally devastated. I'm like, life changed forever. 3 out of 3 rewatch every year. You're like, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. We're fine now. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was I won't say exactly what I thought it was going to be, but it did surprise me. It did surprise me, so I'll give it that. But it was very good. Very, very good. My letterbox, I don't know if you have a letterbox, but I have a letterbox, and I think I gave it 5 stars and a heart. And my review was, "Yo, fuck this movie," with a little crying emoji. Because it did get me to cry. It did get me to cry when.
What part made you cry?
I'm trying to remember when it got me to cry. I think it was when she was running through the forest to watch him fly. I think that was it.
That one wrecked. I was like kind of sniffling before that, but after that, it turned into full on like snotty, ugly crying. To be honest with you.
I don't think it got me ugly crying. I did get ugly crying during Iron Giant, surprisingly.
Ooh, good.
Even though like I've seen it, yeah. So it's
Let's
transitioning.
hear it. What was touching about Iron Giant?
So I chose Iron Giant because I didn't want Sarah to watch The Substance. I thought that'd be too mean for Christmas season. So I'm like, okay, we'll do something safe, something that we both know, something that we both grew up with. So Iron Giant, I think everyone knows about Iron Giant. You know about Hogarth Hughes. He lives in the 1950s Maine, and there's this giant robot lands in the ocean, doesn't have its memory, and he basically teaches it like words and how to live. And then the government gets involved, and things get a little insane, and then it kind of wraps up. But yeah, so the thing, hang on, we'll keep it. We got to keep the viewers in.
Okay. Yeah,
So Sarah, tell me what your thoughts of the Iron Giant.
Okay, I rewatched it. I did fall asleep like 4 times, but I was really tired last night. So I fell asleep 10 minutes before the ending, and Ari's like, "I'm calling it. Like, you can finish it tomorrow." And I'm like, "No, I have to finish it." And he dragged me to bed, so I finished it today. Okay, some comments. I mean, the movie's touching. It's kind of funny. I'm like, this is kind of like the masculine version of Wild Robot. Like Wild Robot's like the feminine. It's the mother. It's the divine mother. Like, this is like the masculine. I don't know if it's like father or brotherly, but there's like it's more of a masculine take on the same story. So I love that. I'm like, this is so yin and yang. I love it. Like they both started as books, right?
Yep,
like
they both started the books and they both opened the same way.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like that. I do remember vaguely. I started kind of researching the background of this movie, and apparently it flopped in the box office.
Yes, it did.
They didn't put any marketing behind it.
Yep.
And then like they started. I don't remember how this happened, but they started like really like blitzing it on Cartoon Network, and they played every Memorial Day, 4th of July. And that's like I was like, holy shit. Like I remember vividly like seeing this movie several times on Cartoon Network as a child.
Oh my gosh.
And so like, I didn't quite remember the story or everything, but I remember watching it.
Yeah.
So it was really cute. Some things that were surprising. Jennifer Aniston, she's like the mom, the voice of the mom. Did not realize that. And then some other things that I wanted to ask you about because maybe you would know like why, but did you notice that like most of the characters, their eyes were just colored dots, and I think it's like to reflect the Iron Robot also just has like single dotted eyes. But then the mom and the blonde douchey police government guy,
Kent Mansley worked for the government.
Yes, he worked for the government. Both of them had irises. They had black dots in their eyes. And I was like, why is that?
That's
I was like, maybe Frank would know that very obscure, weird fact.
I didn't watch it that closely.
Fair.
I was because like it's one of those movies I've seen a lot. I saw it in the theater. I for sure saw this at our Regal Theater,
What?
and I was there when it came out in the theater. It flopped. I do know it flopped like really bad because I don't remember anyone else seeing it but me. And then when it came out on VHS, my VHS came with the little Iron Giant, and I remember
I
trying
remember
to
that.
I remember trying to open it, and I
Yes.
accidentally cut the plastic because for some reason the Iron Giant wasn't on top; it was under the plastic
Oh
sleeve.
no.
So like I remember I'm like, oh shit, I'm wrecking the box, so I had to open it up and take the Iron Giant out, and then like it has like this indent and like a little cut hole where I was trying to cut. But yeah, I had the VHS as a kid. I watched it a lot. There's some things that are just ingrained in my memory. There's things I used for my trailer mashups for the longest time. Like, Mr. President, we have a situation here. I used that for my fan trailers, like back in the days when my little TV Now thing, when I made my, things, early days of editing.
Yeah.
And I did use some things for like YouTube poops, like when in my Pocahontas YouTube poop, when Pocahontas dives into the water.
Yes.
I had a jump cut, so like when she lands in the water, I cut to the part where
oh my god, yes.
it's like that. I have that part, and then I did some references to like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," and just things like that. But this movie has been in my life for the longest time. I did know Jennifer Aniston was in it because I remember thinking like, "Oh my god, Jennifer Aniston's in this movie, my crush." And then I remember like the trailers or something. I remember like the TV spots for some reason because there's like little blips, like you see like a movie and you're like, oh yeah, I remember like that. It's like a little fragmented memory. It's weird.
Yes.
But to get to my point of why I cried this time, I saw it a completely different view. Today I saw it as it's very sad. It's almost like from the point of view of a child. How naive and how like you're experiencing it through Hogarth's eyes, because there's a point where they're being chased by the army, right? And it's scary, and he's like, run away, and then they fall off the cliff, and then it says like you can fly, and just like a child, you forget that there's any danger at all, and then Iron Giant's flying, and they're like, you're like Superman, put your arm out like Superman. Meanwhile, they've completely forgotten that there's fighter jets after them. And it's sad. It's like the naivety of childhood,
Yeah.
like being taken away. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm getting teary eyed now just thinking about it, because like instantly, right after that, like they forget, and they get shot down, and then he thinks Hogarth is dead, and I was just like, oh my god, that's like so hardcore to think that, like you're this Iron Giant, you're like this simple being because you don't remember who you are, and there's this. These humans are taking care of you, and then the thing that you care about most is gone, and they're like, ah! And he just has this anger spurt, and it's just the saddest thing. But I don't know. And then the grim ending. I was kind of thinking about it too. I was like, oh my god, this is so fucking grim. Sorry, language. But like at the end, when they all accept that they're all gonna die, they're like, it's not gonna matter, and they all just like, you see like all the families just like gather up from the street. And it's so sad when he's like all fixed and he goes up there.
Don't follow me.
Oh my gosh, no, follow me. But yeah, sorry, I just saw it like as a different view. I was like, because like usually it's just like a fun adventure, but it was just like the almost like the part of growing up. It's almost like his childhood is over, and after this he'll be a changed kid. Hogarth will be in a grown up after this situation. But yeah, it just saw it a completely different view. I was like, oh dear, oh Sarah.
I love it. It's kind of like it's similar to Wild Robot, right? There's that loss of innocence when he finds out like his mom, right? So it's like that quintessential moment of childhood where you're like, oh, life's not
your fault, Sarah.
It's
not your fault.
Okay, maybe this will redeem it. So one of the things I found really funny about this movie is that Dean's character, Harry Connick Jr., first of all, I love Harry Connick Jr. Second of all, his character, like at different points in the movie, looked like different characters from movies that we've watched on our show. So the first one was Darkly Scanner, or what is that?
Scanner
Darkly. He looked like Robert Downey Jr. when he was wearing like his little glasses and like all the black, and I'm just like, I couldn't get it out of my mind. And then when Hogarth goes to with the Giant for the first time to his scrapyard, he walks up. This one wrecked me, Frank. He walks out and he's wearing like the sweatpants, slippers, and like the robe, and I'm like, oh my god, he looks like Mr. Robitussin from The Princess Bride.
Oh my god, that's an obscure pull. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Here I'm thinking like, oh my god, is Sarah going to realize that we watched like 2 Harry Connick Jr. movies this year?
Did we? Which other one?
Basic. He was the drug doctor who gets punched in the face by Travolta. Remember? Like he ends up getting
I do
arrested.
remember. Oh my god, love him.
Oh my
But no,
gosh.
that wrecked me when I'm like, oh my god, he looks like Mr. Robitussin.
Robitussin. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's an amazing pull. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So there was that one, and then he looked like Darkly Scant. That one, Robitussin, and then also like his character was so out of it. Like the movie was set in the 50s, but his character was like full on the 90s. Like the shaded, like this, the glasses with like the progressive lenses. I'm like, it was making me giggle because he's like futuristic and he's into art. But I'm just like, wow, this man was transported from the 90s into the 50s.
It's true, and it's kind of sort of like that too, how it's moving into the future. Like we have the atomic weapons, and then like the beatniks, like he's sort of like a hippie artistic guy. He's like the new era coming in, and meanwhile Kent Mansley's like the old era, the 50s and all that. That's cool too.
Yeah,
they dive into.
But I was also reading that they designed the movie set it's called Rockwell, Maine, and it was supposed to make you remind you of a Norman Rockwell painting.
Oh, that makes sense. It's called Rockwell.
Yeah, Rockwell. Quintessential 50s family kind of vibe.
Yeah, totally. Now, did you watch the regular one, or did you watch the collector's edition, or whatever it's called?
I rented it on Prime. I think I watched the regular one.
Because I watched the collector's edition just to see what the difference was. There was like 2 scenes that I noticed. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's like different audio, because I did notice. I'm like, that kind of seems weird. I don't remember that. But the 2 things that I did notice was like there's a deleted scene between Jennifer Aniston and Harry Connick Jr., and it implies like more romance, because it's like the next day after the squirrel incident, and they're at the diner. And she's like, well, I just think Hogarth's like lonely, and like she's like very flirtatious towards him, and I'm like, nah, we got enough later on in the movie. We don't need this. And then the other thing was, which is interesting, I do like this one though. It was after Hogarth says souls don't die and they sleep in the trash heap. What's his name? Harry Connick Jr. He's inside the house and he's watching TV, and he can see the dreams of the Iron Giant on his TV.
Oh, I did not catch that.
Oh yeah, this is like the collector's edition, so that's why it might not be in the regular version. So or maybe it's only on DVD. I have no idea. But like there's a dream sequence where you see that the Iron Giant is actually part of a hive, and they go to planet to destroy them. Like you see his purpose.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of important. They should have put that in.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, but it does feel like sequel bait that never happened. And speaking of sequel, what the hell? Why haven't they made a sequel or TV show or spinoff or anything?
They did. It's called The Wild Robot. And the enemy is no longer the government, it's private corporate America.
Oh my gosh.
It's no longer nuclear warfare.
It's America, man. It's no longer. No, actually, America's still the villain, because America was the villain in this, because they get the.
I mean, they're still the villain, but now it's just corporate America.
It's corporate America. Oh my gosh, you're right, Sarah. You're right. You're right. Okay, let's go to the comments before we.
Yes.
Let's see. My favorite Disney live action remake is Cinderella.
That was
a good one.
That was really, and it didn't feel like they were trying to remake the animated movie exactly. Like it felt like it was its own story.
And it felt like the director cared.
Yes.
It felt like he cared, because like they actually got like good performances out of the actors. Because you have the Bellum Carter as the fairy godmother. You got that one dude playing the Prince Charming. And then, oh my gosh, what's her name? The Lily? She's beautiful. She's amazing. She's talented. She's a chameleon.
Oh, Lily,
I forgot her name.
She's a famous person's daughter. Right? Lily Collins?
No, that's a different Collins. This is Lily like Allen or something. I don't want to get it wrong, though. But hang on, let's pull it up, Jamie. Maybe it's here.
I'm looking. There's like 20 Cinderella remakes, so
Cinderella 2015. Hopefully it's the right one. Her name is Lily James. There she is, Lily
yes.
James. Lily
Yes, yes.
James. She's going to be in their Cliffhanger remake for some reason. Let's see what else we have. My favorite character in Iron Giant is Dean.
Dean's best, yeah.
We like Dean. Yeah, Dean's amazing. Dean is
Mr. Robitussin.
Mr. Robitussin had that VHS as well. Stone owned the old cardboard DVD snap cover. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Whoa.
One of my favorite moments from your Pocahontas YouTube poop. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Speaking of YouTube poop, I made an alternate version of the bit with Pocahontas dives. I added in the audio from Rescuers Down Under with Wilbert screams Cowabunga. Oh, yeah. That's right. Cowabunga. The dream sequence is interesting. Setting up there's other giants is fascinating. Definitely builds up the world. If anything, could be continued from the Cold War angle if another giant arrived in Russia. Ooh.
I don't know if the world's ready for that.
I don't know, but like if I were to do a sequel, we don't have any Hogarth, and we take place like in the 70s. I think there's got to be
With like a grown-up Hogarth, or just like no Hogarth?
No Hogarth. No Hogarth. No story in the 70s.
Okay.
Maybe we have like a Hogarth cameo, but
does Iron Giant trip on some shrooms? Like,
oh no, we're just going straight up 70s because I just think it's like an interesting era, an interesting time. Because like 60s is like that's the 60s man, but like 70s I feel like 70s is like we got the World Trade Center just built in like 1977. We got the New York City blackout. We got what's his name? We got interesting things going on in the 70s. I just feel like time jump.
Love it.
Jump for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like that. And
but I feel like Hogarth needs a cameo in it. Like you got to see what he's doing. Maybe he's not the main character, but he needs a cameo.
Yeah, I'll set over a cameo.
Okay,
I'll be okay. I'll allow a cameo. I'll allow it.
I appreciate it.
I just feel like I don't know. I think that's what I've learned with sequels. I think you just gotta if you can't have the original cast or you repeat that magic, you just gotta take a giant leap. And not only that, but it's been so long since the original one. It's like just take a big giant leap. Let's go somewhere else. Let's do something crazy.
Kind of like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Oh, Beetlejuice, like you have the creative team. Most of the people are still alive. Like you could still that's why I'm like you could play it safe. You could play it safe. And not only that, but I feel like they pretty much played it safe. They just knew what they had to do. They knew they had to just make it fun. Who cares about the plot? Who cares about the plot? We'll resolve it in 5 minutes.
We're here for the fun.
It really is because like that villain. Who cares? That's great. Oh my gosh. All right. So Sarah, what's your favorite scene in Iron Giant?
Okay. I was like struggling with this, but then you talked about it. I was like, that's definitely my favorite scene when Hogarth says to him, like the whole time when we're talking about dying and what did he say? He's like, we don't really die, or what he said.
Souls don't die, Sarah. Souls don't die.
It's like my whole MO in life. That was it right there. Souls don't die. It was so like that. That's the part that got me. I love that, and I love
that's the Sarah Miller part.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
Directed by Sarah Miller.
And then it's just like
Sarah Miller.
And then the robot just dies. It comes back to life. In Antarctica, it's so good. My dog just got scared by my show of emotion. She's like, "You okay, Mom?" I'm okay.
Are you okay? I don't think I'm okay. Okay, so my favorite part. Let's see. My favorite part. I kind of like the part when they're in the barn and he has the whole stack of magazines and he's just going through them.
Oh.
And he's like, boy's life, but like you're like Superman. And then he sees a Tomo and he wonders about it because there's a connection. He kind of like remembers something. He's like, no, you're not a Tomo. You're like Superman. Yeah. And that like leads to the whole movie. Tears at the end, Sarah. Iron Giant sacrifices himself, explodes to save little Rockwell. Oh my gosh. And then, Sarah, there's so many good lines in this freaking movie. Oh my God. Oh, make sure he stays here like a good soldier. I can't believe that's... Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? We have the great Phil Dragish here. The great.
Hello.
The great Phil Dragish. Phil Dragish. I've known him online for like 15 years. He's amazing. He recorded Lord of the Rings on audiobook all by himself.
What?
He did the whole thing. He read the books, he did the sound effects, he released it online, and people think it's like an official version. I think even like it got taken down by somebody because they're like, oh my god, this is too official. But like, Phil Dragish is a legend. He's an artist. He can draw Pokemon stuff. He could draw motorcycles. He could draw dinosaurs to no end.
Love it.
I became a fan of him in the early days of YouTube when there was like 5 videos online, and I would look up like movie mashup with my little cat paws, movie mashup, and he did like dubs of the animated Lord of the Rings movies. It was fantastic, just amazing. Phil Dragish.
Welcome. It's so great.
Phil Dragish. And then there he is. He's saying, "Where's the giant, Mansley? We can duck for cover." And then we have, is there any more coffee? Oh my gosh, that's right. He says espresso. Looking at me, looking at you. Espresso. I was like, oh my god, I know that song now. I know it, Sarah. I know it. Oh yeah, Sarah, I never sent you the music video. Holy smokes.
No,
I forgot about that. Because I told you about the idea and you're like, send it to me. I completely forgot. I'll text you. You. But I finally made the Nightmare on Elm Street with espresso.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see
it.
It's
wonderful. It's wonderful.
Love it.
And there he is, Phil Dragish. You're too kind, Frank. No, Phil, I'm not being enough. There needs to be like a whole dramatic thing. I need to give like a whole speech. Like, you know, whenever they do those lifetime achievement things, that's me. I'm like,
and then you just start playing like the send off music. Do, do, do.
I know. I'm like, no, I'm still talking about Phil here. Okay, so we did the favorite scene.
Yep.
And then we talked about the sequel. What would you want to see? Oh, let's hear your idea for sequel, Sarah.
Also, Filler Vision had a comment about the sequel. Iron Giant 2, Lost in New York. Loving the sound of it.
Down the hall and to the left.
Okay. What would my sequel be?
What would you do, Sarah? Iron Giant. Unlimited budget. You could do TV show or movie. What do you want to do?
Probably a movie. I feel like this is, I mean, I could see it being a cool series, but I don't know. I'm feeling movie vibes, especially when it's been this many years. So movie, I think.
Do you pick up right after it ended? Do you jump ahead?
No, I wouldn't pick up. I like your idea of a time jump, but I don't know if it would be the 70s. I think it would either be like maybe a time jump to the future.
Like a whole.
Yeah, like it's like what happened because the cold, like, you know, the cold, it's kind of like one of those movies where like Butterfly Effect, like maybe like there's something we learned that like he was the reason the Cold War never came to fruition. Like after he came back together, he like went on and stomped it out, so it never happened, right?
Oh my god, like a whole. Oh, you're going like real sci-fi.
Or like maybe there's an alternate unit, right? Or is it like
you're
metaverse where
gosh.
he didn't stomp out the Cold War, right? Like I don't know. Something like
you're going wild with this, Sarah. Like I know it's going to be a silly example, but like they did this with Independence Day 2, which I really liked, where it's like a whole alternate future, where it's like they use the technology from the aliens and it's like world peace. And it's so crazy. Like, I love that idea. They didn't really explore it that much because, you know, they just had to go fight the aliens, but everyone's all on the same side. But I love that idea. I love what you're saying. It's like a whole huge tide jump, where it's like almost like he saved people, you know, like doing like little things. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like Butterfly Effect meets like, you know, like Independence Day meets like, what's that alien movie that came out that's really good where they're communicating with the aliens? I love that movie. Arrival, that was so good. Like,
I like how you have to say like 3 things. I'm like, Arrival.
I know, you got it. I know Franco knows this one. That, by the way, side note, Ari and I love that movie so much. Like, we just, that was so good. Anyway.
Because it's got Forrest Whitaker in it. You can't go wrong with Forrest Whitaker.
So good. It was so good. So yeah, I'm thinking something like that, like where we're exploring either we're like on, or maybe it's I don't know if it's a side-by-side movie where you're seeing the 2 timelines or like it's a dream scene. I don't know what it is, but it's something like that.
Ooh, maybe it's something in the past affecting the future and there's flashbacks.
Ooh, that could be cool. Oh my god, that could be cool too. Like you're like going through the decades of like different ways.
Like the mystery of the Iron Giant. Oh my gosh, where they're investigating and you see like brief flashbacks of like what happened and what changed.
Yes, that could be real cool.
like he's chasing it, and they're wondering what's going on and why is the Iron Giant doing these certain things. Almost like Godzilla, you know, like how Godzilla, like I don't know if you ever seen them. Some of the movies are like this, where like Godzilla's like doing some weird shit, and they're like, "What is Godzilla doing these things?" And it turns out like he's charging up because there's a bigger threat coming.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's what happens, where Iron Giant's like doing like these weird things, and he's finally like he was in silent mode, like, you know, he did all these things, and then he went quiet mode, and you know the world changed for the better. But now he's doing these weird things, and we're wondering why he's doing it. And then there's like the greater threat of the Iron Giants or something.
Yes, and then he's like living in a cave, and there's like a cameo of Hogarth, and he has like he has the picture of him and Hogarth hanging in the cave hundreds of years later because he was the first one who showed him love. That's it. We got to bring him in. It's like, you know, Hogarth is dead. Like Hogarth has great grandkids, but he still has the picture.
Old man Hogarth. Yes, I love it. I love it. We have Jacob Dreamer saying the Iron Giant returns. Iron Giants. We'll just put an S at the end. There's Phil. He likes it. He likes it. Oh my gosh, Phil likes it.
Make this happen. I know nothing about making movies, but I'm here for the energy and coffee.
Phil, we got to bring Hogarth.
You gotta bring him in. You can't just let him go forever. Oh my god, what if okay, really quick. What if Hogarth gets cryo-freezed and then he like comes back to
We got clones. We got Hogarth clones. The radiation.
It's a bit of Hogarth's hair, and then like he's so far in the future that they can just recreate him. Oh my god, come on.
Oh my god, Sarah. Here's some heartbreaking shit. How about we have this? It's super in the future, right? The world's ended. And then they're trying to bring back life to the earth, and it turns out the Iron Giant's kind of doing that, and then they find this hologram recording of Hogarth Hughes talking about the giant and how much he loved it and how much it changed his life, and that he'll always love him. And then, you know, it just like cuts out, and then Iron Giant's like, ooh.
Oh, or yeah, it is like Hogarth ends up becoming like a best-selling author about like my adventure with the giant, right? And he's like giving a speech about the giant. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, he ends up working for the government just so he can look for the giant, like how Keyes met E.T. off screen in another movie. Oh my gosh, that's right. He just wanted to see the aliens again. That's right. Oh my gosh, E.T. What a classic. What a film.
You know, a lot of people, I was also reading a lot of people, and this movie did make me think of E.T. a little bit, but the creator did not like that. It's like, this is not E.T. These are not aliens. This is so completely different story.
It's E.T. It's totally E.T. I love what's his name, Brad Bird. It's totally E.T. though. Poor Brad Bird. He's just chained to Disney now because he flopped. So to explain Brad Bird. So Brad Bird, you know, he did Iron Giant, right, and then he did Incredibles, right, so
and Ratatouille. So he's high off life, right? Yep.
And then he makes Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, brings life to this movie. It's amazing. It's action packed. It's great. And then he's like, I'm going to make a movie that I want to make called Tomorrowland.
Oh, nobody liked that movie.
Nobody liked it. It flopped. I liked it. But I'm just saying it flopped. Nobody liked it. It flopped. And now he's chained to Disney forever.
Oh, poor guy.
To make all the Incredible sequels.
Oh, wait, did I see this movie? Oh, I was thinking of a different movie. I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
The one with Will Ferrell where the world ends. The global climate crisis. The day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow.
Don't look up.
No, the day after tomorrow. Maybe it wasn't Will Ferrell.
That was not Will Ferrell. That's like Jake Gyllenhaal and
that one.
Dennis Quaid. Are you serious? Are you talking about? No, not day after tomorrow. Dennis Quaid from The Parent Trap. Oh my gosh.
I love that Dennis Quaid's always tied to The Parent Trap as well. Like that man will never not be the dad from The Parent Trap.
He is the dad from The Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ever. That's his brand.
Wait, we got some religious here. We got it's flawed, but I love Tomorrowland. I wish he could do other projects he wants to. Nope, chained, handcuffed to Disney until forever.
Wasn't Tomorrowland also? Did I see this movie?
Handcuffed to Disney. Oh my gosh! I just realized I could make my own custom Bob. I was just playing with my toys, and I put the little helmet on my
Bob. I love Bob.
Okay, so did we do favorite scenes? Yeah, you did. You said your favorite scene was that. Okay, we haven't done the Rosenbaums. Okay, how many Rosenbaums?
I'd say I'd give this one like a solid 1.5.
Holy shit. What did Iron Giant do to you, Sarah?
Maybe a 2. I'm between a 1.5 and 2. We'll go with a 2.
No,
It
it's
was.
okay.
I'll go with the 2. I think it's a 2.
Okay, I was gonna say, Sarah, like, why are you so mean?
No,
Why are you so
It's
mean?
because it's like I think like when I think about the Wild Robot, I'm just like it's beautiful and I love it and it's perfect. And then I like compare Iron Giant to it, which is also beautiful and wonderful, and I like it. But I just love.
You're like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry.
Even Phil's like, Sarah, oh my
I'll
gosh.
go with a 2. I was being critical. It's a 2.
And even Phil like gives like harsh ratings, but I don't think Phil would ever be that harsh on Iron Giant. Okay, so because Phil, I don't even know if Phil knows this, so it's out of 3, Phil. Out
Yeah.
of 3, but still 1.5 is pretty low for Iron Giant.
It's
It's like, oh my gosh. Okay.
I also like the animation of it. Like I like the look of the animation.
Yes, I do too. Warner Brothers was sort of doing that at the time because remember what's that movie called that came out? I think it's the same animation studio. The Adam Sandler one. What's it called? Oh
On
God,
the Disney Hotel Transylvania.
no, the Christmas one, the Hanukkah one. What's it called?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Eight Crazy Nights.
Yes,
Eight Crazy Nights.
Yep.
They have like the same animation look. I wonder if it's the
They
same company.
do. Oh, look, yeah, they do have that.
There he is. Eight Crazy Nights. Yep. Thank you, Cade. Oh yeah, and Phil's like, oh okay, yeah. He probably thought it was out of 5. What?
I'm not that mean.
But yes. So I think I'm gonna give it a 3 because it's still classic. It's still great. It still holds up. It's Brad Bird. He's coming through strong with his first movie. You know, after coming off The Simpsons, after all the years, it's amazing. And then you got Harry Connick Jr. and then you got the dad from Frasier,
Jennifer
and
Aniston.
then you, Jennifer Aniston, and then you got the guy from the speaking of Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin.
Yep.
He's in this, so it's good. It's good, Sarah. It's good.
It was good. Yeah, I think this was enjoyable. This was a good one.
It's beautiful, but man, I can't get it behind it to save my life. Respect it and the team who worked on it. Just not for me. Whoa, hang on. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Iron Giant? Or are you talking about Wild Robot? Kate, I need answers. What the fuck is this? It's beautiful, but I can't get behind to save my life. What are you talking about? Or unless you're talking about Eight Crazy Nights, because that's fine. That's fine.
That's
That's
fine.
a mixed bag. Mostly same team went on to do Sandler movie.
Oh, Eight Crazy.
Okay, I was gonna say, even for both movies, I'm like, oh my god, I don't like Wild Robot that much. It's good. I've never watched it again, but like, I wouldn't even say that. So you meant Eight Crazy Nights? Oh, thank God.
I don't know if I've ever watched Eight Crazy Nights beginning to end.
I've never seen it. I've only listened to the soundtrack because as a kid, I liked the Adam Sandler songs, so I love the soundtrack.
I am celebrating Hanukkah this year. Maybe we should do that as our
Ooh.
holiday movie.
Yes. Oh yeah. So Sarah, what are next?
Well, we obviously have to do Christmas or like holiday because we're in December.
Yep.
And I stole our Thanksgiving movie for robots. So, what are you thinking?
Holidays? I think I don't know if I got to talk about it. I think.
I've been racking my mind. I'm like, what Christmas movies haven't we watched that I really like on this show? I already watched Holiday again. I watched it while I put up my Christmas tree. Ari came home and he says, "This again?" And I'm like, "Yes, every year. This again, every single year."
Every holiday.
Exactly.
It's Emma Roberts. It's Emma
love
Roberts. I'm not sure because I was kind of thinking like, should we just do like a holiday special? Like, should we do that or should we actually do movies? I was wondering what was your idea? What should we do?
I'm like looking through we did Polar Express last year and Holiday, and we also did the feature. We did both. We did a 2-for.
Did we do Polar Express?
We did. Yeah, the movie you picked was Polar Express, and I picked Holiday. And then one year we did Silent Nights. And did we do A Wonderful Life? We did A Wonderful Life at some point.
I think we just talked about it. I don't know if we actually did it. Well, yeah, because I think we just talked in like the first episode. I think we just did top 5 or top 3 Christmas movies, and we just talked about. Because I thought you picked, what was it the Claus, the animated? Movie
we
Claus.
did a double feature. We did Claus. We tried to do Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, but
I thought that was on YouTube. I remember when we planned that, it was on YouTube, and then we looked it up, and then it was like nowhere.
I know. And then what was the special? Oh, you picked one of the claymation specials.
Oh yeah, Santa Claus coming to town because I was like, oh yeah, they're very similar.
Oh, does our audience have any like holiday movies they really love?
Audience.
Audience.
Are you there? Audience. Phil
Hello.
Dragish. We need you, Phil Dragish. Come up to the front.
Please stand up.
Cade Fisher, please come to the front of the office. I would love a Wild Robot Iron Giant so much. Not AQC Nights. Sure, Cade. Sure.
I did watch a really cute. It's a new one with Ben Stiller. It's on Hulu. I want to say, maybe not Hulu. I don't know. I think it's Hulu, and it's about.
Oh my god! I think I saw a meme of this on Twitter. Oh my gosh!
It's so cute. So it's like basically the filmmaker. Like there's a real family with 4 boys, and they're professional ballet dancers. Like this family's real. They live in Ohio, and the mom used to work in the movie industry, and she moved and stopped everything, so bought a farm, had these kids, and the filmmaker met these kids and thought they were just so brilliant, they're dynamic, that he's like, I need to make a movie. I don't even care what the subject matter is. I just want these kids to be in a movie. So they made this movie with the 4 kids, and the story they created was like there are 4 orphan kids, and Ben Stiller's the rich uncle who comes back home to try to get them adopted, right? And it's one of those movies, but these kids aren't actors. They're just like kids playing themselves. And it was like a really good movie. And I definitely cried a little bit at the end.
Was this Nutcrackers?
Yes, it was. It was cute.
Literally, Sarah, like half an hour before the show, I was scrolling on Twitter, and someone says they keep checking the Nutcrackers Wikipedia before someone changes it. It's been changed now, but they had a screenshot.
Yeah.
And it said like one of the worst unwatchable movies ever.
It was
directed by... I know, but that's how I found out about it. That's how I found about it. Because when you started describing, I'm like, oh my god, is Sarah talking about it? And it is. It's that movie. Oh my gosh.
But then it's like it was the background story of how the film was made that made, because they actually filmed the movie at their house. Like they filmed the movie on the farmhouse where they live, and all their animals are their actual animals, and it's dedicated to their dog who's in the movie that died. It was good. Anyways.
Cade being a trailblazer here. We could do 8 Crazy Nights.
We could.
And then Phil coming in here. I don't know what Phil knows about the show, but he's coming in from left field. Tokyo Godfathers.
Godfathers.
Phil, if I'm not going to let Sarah watch the substance.
I'm not going to let Sarah watch that.
Oh my god, curious to hear both opinions on that. It's like, wait, what is Tokyo Godfathers? Let's
I'm looking it up. It looks like anime.
Oh, of course. Phil's a big anime. Phil, can you answer us a question? Can anime be manga, or is manga only anime? Answer us, Philip.
Solve me this riddle.
Solve me this riddle, Batman. Oh, it is a Christmas. Oh my gosh, Phil. He's really coming in from left field. Let's see, what else are we coming here? Any of the Rankin Bass specials always win. Yes, Rudolph. We'll call him Rudolph.
Also, I'm just saying there is an Ernest Christmas movie.
And I do have it on DVD. And I haven't seen it yet.
Here we go again.
Tokyo Godfather's pretty great. Oh, we got Cade coming in there. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Oh Lord, here we go again. Yep, he knows. I always reference that with him. Can anime be manga or manga be anime? It's okay, Phil. I'm just teasing. It's fine. Okay, so
also there's that one action movie that there's always a debate of whether it's a Christmas movie or not.
Oh shit, my favorite movie of all time. Oh my!
I haven't seen it, and I want to.
Okay, we'll do that then. We'll do Die Hard.
Okay, because it's like the big debate: Christmas, not Christmas. I feel like I need to have skin in this game.
I think so. I think you need to answer it. To me, I'll answer it on the show. How about that?
Okay, great.
We'll keep that.
Cliffhanger.
So you'll pick Die Hard, and I'll pick Home Alone, so I could finally talk about it, cross it off my list, stop talking about it. I'm going to talk about Home Alone. I'm going to do it, Sarah.
Okay. Do we also do specials? Do we do
we did this last year, Sarah. We were like, we should watch 3 holiday specials, and then when we should do 4. We could barely do our movies.
I know, but okay, fine.
We really wanted to. Remember, Sarah? We really wanted to.
Should we do it? Should we also do 8 Crazy Nights or
Yeah, let's
do like an audience pick. We can do 3.
Yeah, we'll do an audience pick. Yeah, we'll do 8 Crazy Nights.
Okay, so 8 Crazy Nights or Tokyo Godfathers, because 2 people recommended Tokyo Godfathers.
Okay, so what are we doing?
8 Crazy Nights. I'm celebrating Hanukkah this year. That'd be kind of fun.
I know, and I haven't seen it, and that'd be fun to see it. But
what the fuck?
8 Crazy Nights. Okay, well, fuck it. 8 Crazy Nights. Phil says classic Die Hard. And then Filler Vision, woo, Home Alone and Die Hard. Yes, because they're basically the same movie. And then we have
It's the same movie.
Home Hard, Die Alone. Yes.
We should call our special that. Home Hard, Die Alone.
Home Hard, Die Alone. Lost in New York. Oh, wait. 8 Nights or something like that. Die Hard, Home Alone.
What have I done?
What have I done? This is all your fault, Cade. Everything. It's all led to this. So, 3 movies.
Great.
Die Hard, Home Alone, and then we'll talk about 8 Crazy Nights.
We're being inclusive.
We're being inclusive. We're doing 2 holiday classics, and then we're bringing in an animated one. We're good. That's good. That's good. Maybe that's a good theme. I like that.
I like it.
I like it.
It'll be
I'm
good.
excited too. It's going to be good.
This will be our 3rd Christmas special.
This is crazy. Our 3rd one. Oh my gosh.
That means we're almost going into season 3.
Yes, season 3. When do we take a break? Do we take a break in January or February? I forgot.
We took 1 break, and it was the fucking week you made me watch that stupid movie with the worms.
I should make you watch it again.
And we never got to talk about Soul.
I don't know how, but maybe we should do like a live commentary on Tremors, and we'll just me and you will watch Tremors, and we'll just talk to the people.
That could be like your season 3 premiere.
You better be there, Phil. I might send an invite to Phil. I'll be like, Phil, you're going to join me and Sarah. We're going to talk about this. And we're going to question up Phil.
Oh my god, we could do like a three movies. Each one of us gets a movie. Guest appearance.
But I don't know if like Phil lives on the other side of the planet. He's like in Croatia.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for joining. Whatever time it is there.
Yeah, I don't know what time it is over there, but Phil, thank you for joining. This has been amazing. Like it's a rare feat for Phil to join, so it's fun whenever Phil's here. Thank you, Phil. Oh my God, he said, "Yep."
Love it.
All right, well, me and Sarah will set up the episode day. Oh yeah, when are we going to record?
We already picked our episode day. Let me just make sure it still works.
Did we? Yeah, let me write it down.
Hold on, it's in my calendar.
Let me write it down. There's my pens and paper. Here we go.
We're doing it on. I put it in my calendar. Oh yeah, the 26th. It's Thursday.
December 26th. Okay.
Die Hard on Christmas Day.
Ooh. Oh my God, Sarah, I don't know if it still exists anymore, but there was a Twitter account that does like a fake like broadcast of like Die Hard where if it was a real situation. They're like, oh my God, if this happened, blah, blah, blah. And you do hashtags and all that. I don't know if they do it every year or if it was only that 1 year, but it was awesome. As if Die Hard was a real situation. So cool. Okay, so December 26th, 6:30, normal time. I'll send that to Phil. Make sure he's here. We're going to make Phil do it.
We're doing it. 3 movies.
We're doing it.
Happening.
3 movies.
It's happening. Also, Hanukkah starts on December 26th this year.
Oh my gosh. Put on your yarmulke. It's time to celebrate Hanukkah.
Love it.
I used to listen to that soundtrack all the time.
It's a good one. Did you watch Adam Sandler's special on Netflix? I couldn't get into it.
I don't watch Netflix.
That's fair.
Although I am going to probably get it for January, Sarah, because the new Wallace and Gromit's coming out.
Oh.
And also I want to watch the Christmas special with, what's her name, Sabrina Carpenter.
They also, Lindsay Lohan has like 3 Christmas specials on Netflix.
That too, Sarah. Oh my God, hang on. Sidebar.
We gotta make a list here.
Sidebar, Sarah. Sidebar. I've been getting into a Lindsay Lohan headspace recently, and it's all your fault because of Mean Girls. So I went to Savers and I found Freaky Friday. She's amazing in it.
Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, even better.
I'm getting there, Sarah. I'm getting there because the next one I rented was The Parent Trap. 2 movies I haven't seen. Like I saw Parent Trap went back in the day, like once. Okay. So I watched it again. She is so talented. First movie out of the gate, she's playing 2. Like here's the thing. Like in all her movies, she's like playing 2 different roles. Like in like Mean Girls, she's like playing like Departed. Like she's going undercover to be a mean girl.
She's like a Gemini.
She's got to be because she's like playing all these different roles, and then she's making a comeback. Sarah, have you seen how beautiful she looks?
She looks beautiful.
Looks amazing. She's flawless. She's talented.
And she has a movie with Carrie. No, that's a different one. No, she has a movie that's set like Irish Christmas.
Yeah, she's got 3 of them. One just came out.
Yep.
And then she was promoting another one with her friend because her friend from Mean Girls did the Sexy Santa or Sexy Frosty, one of those ones.
Oh yeah, I want to see that one.
But yeah, oh my God, sir, I'm on a Lindsay Lohan kick. She's
You have to
talented,
watch
she's
Confessions
amazing.
of a Teenage Drama Queen.
I'm
It's my
getting
favorite.
there.
It's my favorite Lindsay Lohan movie. I was thinking about that movie the other night. Actually, I'm like, I gotta rewatch this one.
We have to. We have to do an
Confessions of a
episode because I
Teenage-
need to talk about this actress. She's amazing. She's the
Okay,
best
well,
thing I've ever seen in my
January,
life.
We could do a Lindsay Lohan special in January.
For my birthday month.
Happy birthday, Frank! Lindsay
Happy
Lohan.
birthday, Frank. We're going to watch all the Lindsay Lohan stuff.
It's like Sarah's pajama party part 2, but it's like Frank's pajama party.
Frank's pajama party. We're watching all the Lindsay Lohan. What's that movie called? Just My Luck or whatever? She has like Chris Pine in it.
Yes.
That's on my list.
Yep.
Oh my God. But yes, maybe we should do that.
Okay, great.
And
Let's
we're
do
going to
it.
rope Phil in. No, just kidding. I'm not going to rope Phil in for that. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Check out The Wild Robot. It's now available to rent or own on
It's so
streaming
good.
services. It's good. Iron Giant. I'm sure it's on HBO Max or something. I don't know.
It's not. It's only on. You have to rent it. It's on Prime.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
tried
God.
HBO Max. It's not there.
They're leaving money on the table. They're leaving money on the table. Well, I don't know what Warner Brothers is doing. They deserve to go away. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so there's that. So thank you guys for coming in, and we're going to be back on December 26th after Christmas to talk about Christmas movies. We're going to talk about Die Hard. We're going to talk about 8 Crazy Nights, Home Alone. It's going to be wild. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Frank,
I'm Sarah.
and thank you for watching. And end stream.